You need a kick. I cannot sit in the plane with you doing it like,
The lady next to me is thinking I'm having cardiac arrest.
They learn from YouTubes. They just watch YouTubes or even TikToks.
Yeah, I just came back from retreat and you need to change.
I created you.
How would you give advice to somebody where one spouse is into meditations and another spouse is very skeptical about it?
Welcome to the Frequency of Wealth podcast.
Hi, my name is Nikita Zhitov, and welcome to my podcast, The Frequency of Wealth. I wanted to create a podcast about wealth creation and specifically about frequency of wealth, because everything, as we know, is energy in the universe, and energy is made up of frequencies. If every frequency carries information, there has to be a frequency of money and if about certain wealth amount. I wanted to figure out the pattern and the commonalities, exactly what that frequency is, by interviewing different people who are ultra successful, have accumulated large amount of wealth, to determine exactly what is common among them, what are the habits, and what are the behavioral patterns, so we can pinpoint and figure out the secret sauce of wealth creation. Today is the first episode, and we have a very special guest. This guest is actually my wife. I think if I do my job right and ask the right questions, it's going to be a very, very interesting interview, because she is one of the best examples I could think of as far as manifesting wealth out of thin air and manifesting other things besides wealth. Kristina, welcome to the show. And
Hi everyone. I'm very excited and very shy at the same time. So let's start.
I'm going to ask some questions and you're going to answer, and I might intervene and make comments about it and or answer the same questions as well. So today's episode is going to be more focused on the role of meditations in the family. And what I mean by meditations, I mean just general practices, not just sitting in lotus position with eyes closed, but I'm talking about all the practices, whether it's exercising, whether it's doing yoga, whether it's walking in silence, whether it's doing breath work, standing on nails. Let's get started. Kristina, are you ready?
Yep.
The Frequency of Wealth podcast.
Let's start at the beginning. Can you explain exactly how we've met?
I created you. So I meditated for 5 months and you just appeared in my reality. In short, this is how we met.
What you're saying is that you meditated, you manifested me to appear out of thin air in your life.
Exactly. I didn't know how you look. I didn't know what you are. I didn't know your name or anything about you. I just meditated for this state of being with the partner, that you feel in love, that you feel secure, that you feel connected in all possible terms. And you appeared.
So you practiced those feelings
Yes.
for 5 months and visualized those circumstances before I appeared in your life.
Yes. But remember, when we first met, the meditation was not our topic. I was like, have you read this book of Joe Dispenza? And you're like, don't even mention anything out of this 3D reality.
Yeah, I was very, very much into material world at the time. Not because I don't believe I didn't like meditations. I actually meditated since I was 14 years old. But I was going through a period of my life, I think at the time, where I wanted to stay far away from everything spiritual as far as possible for personal reasons.
So I forgot about my practices as well. And for some time we were not doing anything. But then life always pushes us to come back.
Yeah. So when exactly did you tell me more about that? When exactly did you start meditating?
The first postpartum kicks hard. And we had no choice than to come back to our ways of spiritual, calming down the mind and relaxing in the spiritual sense. And the first step was the Joe Dispenza retreat.
Okay, so let me go through this timeline again. You manifested me through your personal meditation work. I was not into that work at the time. We've met, we started dating, then we got married, and we have kids.
And I was thinking, okay, my dreams came true. I don't need to do anything. I'm done.
Okay, you found the perfect husband.
Yes.
And you're living a perfect life. Okay,
Yes.
Great. And so we get married, we have a beautiful life, have kids, And at what point in time, again, you started meditating again, or why this topic was reintroduced into
The
your life?
first postpartum period came out to be very bad depression time for me, and I was looking for ways out of it. It was hard, and for me personally, for our relationships, for the whole family, the baby was fussy because of me. This is when we started to meditate again.
So you were going through some postpartum depression, and you recognized that you needed to change your state of being in
To
order
change myself.
to change yourself. And that's when we started
Yeah.
looking and talking about getting back into
Yes,
spiritual work
exactly.
and meditating.
I remember my words were like, my settings went wrong way. I need to reestablish my settings back to the point where I feel happy and where I'm a positive person.
And that you said that what was the first step to it? You've mentioned.
The first Joe Dispenza retreat.
Tell me about that.
It is a 7-day retreat in Mexico, Cancun, where you're fully in, fully focused. You don't have any free time, maybe swim once a day, that's it. And I don't want to share anything about the process just because I really believe that the power of unknown is strong. And if anyone from the audience would like to go there, I would like it to be unknown for them.
Leave it to the unknown, as Joe
Yes.
says. That's good advice. So you decided to dive in because, a week-long advanced retreat with Dr. Joe Dispenza is pretty intense for somebody who's just starting in meditation work. But you decided to dive right into that and, not start small by meditating at home for 15 minutes. You decided to go. You needed
a kick. Your fuel tank is empty and you need to fully tank it and then fuel it, and then you just add drops by your home meditation. But I needed to start.
Excellent. It sounds like. And how did it work out? Did it produce the
You
results?
tell me how did it work out, because you can see me from the side and compare who I was and who I am, how much I changed.
You see, so much going on in my life on daily basis, a weekly basis, that 2 weeks ago seems like it was another lifetime, let alone several years ago. But what I do remember from that period of time is that I was living a beautiful life. I had a beautiful wife and was really enjoying myself and our time together. And then after our first daughter was born, it's like the person flipped. I remember you had a severe postpartum depression, and it was not a pleasant experience to be around at the time. But then after attending a Joe's event and getting back into the meditation work, I got my wife back. I got my Kristina, the old version of her back. That's
upgraded.
Yeah, upgraded version, even better than before. That was neurologically regulated. That was in a state of homeostasis, and without that was not depressed. Yeah, so I was definitely a beneficiary of you starting to do that work. So thank you for doing that work. Yeah.
Thank you for being there with me.
The Frequency of Wealth podcast.
What we did is we surveyed some friends in the audience and come up with a list of about 18 questions that thought sounded the most interesting. How meditation, inside the family life. So how has meditation changed the atmosphere inside the home?
I think when we reintroduced the practice back to our lives, it was like opening up the windows. Fresh air came in, everything became more smooth, light, more loving. It just changed everything. And then step by step, slowly, we went into this flow of practices and meditation and personal growth. And now it's just a long way to go, but it's a tool that we every time we feel stressed or something is going wrong, we just come back to it and it settles everything down.
Okay. And you have 2 kids, right?
Yes. What about you?
2 kids that I know of. So when the kids are having meltdowns and you're very stressed, how do you stay calm, or how do you de-stress yourself?
Sometimes I do meltdown as well. So just to let you know, we are not a guru couple, okay? We are still learning, but we have instruments. So far, right now I'm at the point where I know to make a break, take a deep breath in, to pause and delay the reaction to the meltdowns. And I also have few life hacks what I do. All of them you know as well, but let's just explain them. The first one is to blow the fist, where we just take an inhale and then we blow it out to open it up. It helps with kids because when you ask kid to do it and then you kind of not open it until they really do blow out everything, it calms down the situation and it makes it more playful and smiley and happy. The second thing, again with the breath, all around the house we have bubbles, and whenever I feel like I'm getting anxious or frustrated, I'm like, Mommy needs her bubbles. And everyone starts to run around grabbing the bubbles, and we do the breathing exercise. We do the bubbles.
You're talking about the soap bubbles.
Soap bubbles, yes. So I breathe, kids take a look at the bubbles, and it's a little bit hypnotize them, and then they're like, I want to try. They take the bubbles as well, so they forgot about they meltdown. They do them as well, and we say, let's just blow the anger out.
So it sounds like just a basic human psychology where you shift their attention away from the stressful situation onto something else that is playful, less stressful. Is that correct?
Yes, but I don't just change the topic, like, oh, forget about this. I'm talking about their feelings and my emotions. I'm saying I need my bubbles to blow out the anger so I can process my emotions and not just ignore them.
Okay. So you're acknowledging their feelings, which is very important in the relationship. Instead of telling them, hey, don't feel this way, instead you should feel this way. You're telling them, no, I disagree with you. That's how I feel.
We don't say, calm down. This doesn't work.
You got to acknowledge the feelings and then shift attention away, turn it into a playful situation slowly.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. So how do you explain to kids, why do they need quiet time, or why do they need to meditate, so it doesn't sound like punishment?
I don't explain anything to kids. When I need to meditate, there are two ways. One way, I organize my environment, so I get babysitter, or I leave kids with you, I get my space and I go do it. Or the other way, I just meditate in front of them. I teach them by example. And yes, you may get smashed in the face when you meditate, but it just makes you stronger, right? So I got used to meditation on the morning with Lily on my chest, and she wasn't sleeping. She was all around the place, and I still was trying to do my thing. You were like, oh, how you do that? And now 2 years later, we have 2 kids in bed on the mornings, and you still figured it out. You managed to meditate for an hour sometimes on the morning.
Yeah.
And she looks at you and she's like, oh, Daddy is meditating. I would not touch him now.
Yeah. Well, I think we told them, like, unless there is blood and somebody is bleeding, just give us, like, don't bother us during meditation.
I think when they grow older, this will be the rule. Yeah.
So as of right now, the kids are not meditating, right?
Not yet, but I hope to introduce it to them. So far, we are showing them, giving an example. I'm pretty sure one day she will be like, I want to do it as well. And Timur will be the same, like, can you teach me to meditate? I really want to know how to do it. And then we have all the instruments. We have all the teachers who already have kids' meditations available. You just turn it on and they use playful language. They explain everything. And it's fun. We have all the tools.
How would you say your meditation practices are different as a female from, let's say, my meditation practices as a man?
I think mine are more intuitive and yours are more disciplined at the point. But also you have a lot of your own teachers, masterminds, your gurus, your books that sometimes do not resonate with me, and that's fine. I have my own that you may not like, but at the end they all use different language to talk about one same thing. So as much people in this world as they can understand this truth, like this same point, they use a lot of different languages to explain that. And sometimes for example, I like to go to retreats with you. I like to read some books and then discuss them, because you have your own perspective, I have my own, and then we share, and then something else open up for me. But there are some things that I don't like to do, like, Tony Robbins. I'm not a fan, and I'm giving it a chance this year. But for me, he's pushy and masculine, but it works for you, and I'm happy for you.
Well, just one of the ways to grow is to, I think 20 really is a national treasure.
Of course, for sure.
To the
It's
American
just
people.
for someone it works, for someone it doesn't, and that's okay.
So there is different types of meditations. Obviously, one of them could be, complete silence, like Vipassana, where you go in complete silence for several days, don't talk, or even if you meditate for an hour, you just go inside and try to silence the voice in the head, to observe and monitor sensations, right? Because the feelings is the language of the soul. So to hear your soul, you gotta quiet your mind so you can observe sensations. And other forms of meditations are guided meditations, especially for people like who don't really know how to quiet their mind yet. Guided meditations work for them, where it could be, whether it's yourself or somebody else is guiding you through the work what you're doing internally. So which one do you usually practice, and why?
I do really like guided meditations, and when I make time for my meditation, when I sit down, I would like to turn on guided meditation. But when I'm driving, let's say, and it's quiet in the car, and when you're driving, you are a little bit in hypnosis. So I do have a lot of this silence meditation when I catch my thoughts, and I uncover the layers behind the thoughts, and I make my mind more clear and calm.
So you're saying there is so meditation can be, there is such thing as a driving meditation? I know I've heard
For me, yes.
there was a sitting down meditation, and I know there was we've obviously done walking meditations before, and there is a laying down meditation, there is sitting meditation. I've never heard of a driving meditation before.
Okay, welcome.
Okay, so
try it. Driving meditation works for me.
It sounds like meditation is more of about state of being and about paying attention to the voice in the head, right?
I would say clearing the voice in the head, calming down, and just be real you, and not you in the mask of what happened to you earlier today or in the past.
Can you elaborate more on that? What I mean, like being real you and not living in your past?
We are born pure, and then the life, I could say break us at some sense, and we get all these traumas, injuries, psychological, mental, body traumas, and it may go from years behind you. It may go from the morning when somebody in the car turned the way you don't like them to turn, and you get frustrated and you get angry, and that changes who you are and how you behave, because this is the human nature. And then, but the best thing about that is that we are empowered to calm it down and to clear it out by ourselves. We shouldn't live whole life with some trauma of, I don't know, let's say someone's dad was an alcoholic, and the whole life is influenced by that. My dad was alcoholic. And what? Clear it out, you will be the completely different person. You will behave differently, you will feel differently. And this is the point. The final spot is happiness. We all go there and we clear out all possible bumps and challenges.
So it sounds like meditation, what you're saying, meditation is a tool not only to clear your mind and have clarity, but to heal past traumas.
You can't say it this
You
way.
know,
I
this-
don't really like the word heal, but to
Yeah.
clear it out.
Well, your story about hey, I'm this way because I had an alcoholic father reminds me of a story of two brothers. Yeah, one brother is extremely successful businessman and super wealthy family, happy, and other brother is complete alcoholic. And when they were both interviewed, they ask one guy, "Why are you the way you are? Why are you homeless, living on the streets, alcoholic, drug addict?" He says, "Well, it's because my father was alcoholic." They interview the second brother and it says, "Why are you the way you are? Very driven, motivated, family man, super wealthy." And he says, "Well, it's because I'm the way I am because my father was an alcoholic." So you see, I believe that life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we react to it, what we make of it. So,
And meditation helps with the reaction.
yeah.
You don't react anymore to things like that. Or you do react for 10 seconds and then you forgot about it.
Yeah.
You move forward.
Yeah. Well, I think I was the reason that I became the way I am. I was very influenced by people who were much smarter than me. And in this particular case, I think it's Viktor Frankl and his book Man's Search for Meaning. Basically, that nothing has really meaning other than the meaning you give it. So again, going back to emphasize the point, it's not what happens to us, but how we react to it. We can give it a lot of meaning, or we can absolutely just be an observer and give it no meaning, no emphasis.
The Frequency of Wealth podcast.
All right, so let's switch gears. So you have a very busy household. I know it because I live in it. You have two little kids. One is a toddler. One is an infant. Yes, we have. And so how do you find time to meditate in this chaos?
Well, I'm really fascinated with how you find time to meditate. You are up at 4 a.m. in the morning every single day. You go to the pool house, you do your routine, you come back completely different person. Every morning, if I'm up before you are back, I'm so excited to meet you because I'm like, I get the best now.
Yeah.
I'm meeting the best person in the world right now because you're coming back from your routine completely different. You're lighting, I feel so safe with you and you're smiling. It's like, yeah, it's very exciting for me to meet you there. I'm more intuitive and I really would like to do it every day. I schedule my meditation, my practice time. When I have help with kids, with home, it's easy. I'm running to do it. But sometimes I just skip a few days when I don't have a chance to do it. Or I do it before the bed, or at night when I wake up to feed the baby, or driving meditation.
Yeah. I thought you were just sleeping when you were at night.
Sometimes I do. You remember those days when sometimes I skip for the few days, but I clearly know when I have to come back. Life just gives me a kick and I'm like, okay, I have to meditate urgently. It really turns to not to I want to, but I have to. And then I tell you, please take kids. I go to the pool house and I spend few hours there. Sometimes I do meditate, like very high quality meditation. And sometimes I just turn it on and I sleep. I fall asleep. I love to fall asleep with the meditation. I know it's not the purpose. You shouldn't do that. But sometimes I intentionally do that because the quality of sleep changes and you get, like, let's say 1 hour of sleep is the same as the whole night.
How would you give advice to somebody where one spouse is into meditations and another spouse is very skeptical about it? They think it's woo-woo science.
First of all, continue do your thing. Do not stop. Do not quit on it. continue with your thing. And then the same as with kids, learn by example. They will see how you change, they will see the benefits, and they will be like, okay, that's something good about what my partner does. And maybe they will find their own way. They may not go the same retreat, read the same book, but they will definitely find their own way of practice. And again, you will meet at the same point. Like some people, they learn from YouTubes. They just watch YouTubes or even TikToks. I've just met the person like that. He watched TikToks, and this is how he learned his spiritual life, his spiritual growth. And other people go in therapy for years with all possible psychologists, psychotherapists, and these two person will come to the same point, and they will speak the same truth.
So it sounds like the advice you're giving people is that start by changing yourself.
Yep.
Don't try to change. Don't be weird, and don't try to change the other person. Like, hey, I just came back from retreat, and you need to change, right? Like, don't do that.
That's the worst thing you
Yes,
can do.
like you go to, hey, I just came back from the spiritual retreat, and I concluded that you gotta change. Like, yeah, that's not gonna work, probably. It's like,
No, just be yourself, and they will ask you, hey, what have you done? You changed. What happened to you?
yeah. And then hopefully they'll like the new version of you, haven't changed, and
They
They
may don't like it, and then these people
and
will
then-
disappear from your
yeah,
life. That
that's not-
can happen as well.
So Kristina, you also have your own clothing brand,
Yeah.
meditation wear. So tell me how this idea came about.
In the meditation, it all started at the beach. I was doing walking meditation at the retreat, and I got all these images coming in, especially this one, Meet Me in Love, with the spiral Fibonacci and the heart inside of it. And clothing like t-shirts, hoodies, that I was feeling the comfort from the pictures. Like it should be comfortable, it should hug you, you should feel safe, you should feel that you are charged, that you are ready to go, you're ready to connect, and your frequency is growing. And it was coming to me in the meditation. I was like, then I go back from the meditation, I'm like, what was that? I don't like it. I don't want to do it. Well, okay, thank you, but I don't want to do it. And then I go back to meditation. I want to do something in my meditation, but I keep getting these images. And the idea developed further and further inside of the meditation, while my logic was, okay, we are not doing that. No way. There were a lot of why not.
So your heart was telling you, I need to do this clothing brand for meditations, and your logic, your analytical mind was telling you like,
No
"There is
way.
no way."
Yes, exactly. And at the same point, I decided to surrender, to give up to this idea and say, okay, if the source sends me that, I will just do it with my hands. It's not my idea. It's like I did not create anything. It's all comes through me and is made by my hands to this world. That's it.
So what do you mean it wasn't your idea? I thought this idea came to you through meditation.
Yeah, but it came from the source, not from me.
Okay, so you're not taking credit for
No.
taking that. Okay, and so it sounds like you were just a medium through which I guess the source wanted you to create this clothing brand.
Yes, yes. And that's a funny story. I have a lot of cases when people come to me and say, I want you to do this t-shirt for me or this hoodie for me. And I'm like, okay, what exactly you want? They give me the details. I make a hoodie or a t-shirt. This person is happy. But then the whole bunch of these hoodies, they will not sell. People are not interested in it because it's created from here, from 3D reality. Whatever comes from the meditation, all the designs that come from the meditation, they sold out like this, easily, without anything.
How to maintain balance when to keep a soul and a meaning behind your clothing brand when there is an opportunity to scale quickly?
For me, meaning comes first. Meaning is the most important. I don't need to scale. Growth is perfect, is good. I love it when it's a side effect.
You don't need to scale because you have a very wealthy husband.
Exactly, exactly. The idea is it's not about some cheap item that I buy cheap and sell expensive. It's all about the meaning and the frequency of the item. I wanted to feel comfortable. I wanted to charge the person. I want every item to have a meaning. It's like you take it on and you feel that your body understands we are meditating now. I just got this voice message from the client in Austria. She told me, whenever I feel anxious, I take on your hoodie and I'm grounded. It's like an emotional support hoodie.
That's very nice.
Yeah, so meaning comes first for me, and growth is a side effect that I love to have. I love when it happens, but this is not where it's
Okay,
not
so
my
sounds
goal.
like we're getting somewhere to the frequency of growth, of wealth and creation, is that you have to focus on the meaning and the soul and the heart first, and the financial benefit or scaling or growth is almost like a side effect. It's an inevitable natural byproduct.
It's like an appreciation of the whole process.
Okay.
It's just a currency of appreciation, I would say.
Or you're talking about money is the currency of appreciation.
Yes.
Okay, so does it come once you're appreciative, or it comes as a sign of appreciation?
First of all, I think there is no rule on that, and you should not expect that. Like you are saying, like, okay, I will be appreciative, and then I will get a lot of money. No, you should not. You should not have an intention of having a lot of money. You should have an intention of feeling somehow, of making good things for the world, for people around you, and giving some sense into this world. And then, as a side effect, at some point, it comes.
By the way, a little sidetrack. Secret to happiness in marriage is have no expectations at all. The less expectations you have, the more and the less rules you have in marriage, the happier you're gonna be, and the more likely you're gonna have a long-lasting marriage.
The Frequency of Wealth podcast.
So, Kristina, what happens when meditations just don't work and your day keeps going sideways?
Well, there is no such thing as a bad meditation. And every meditation you do, even if you think it's bad, it's like a coin in a piggy bank. It just some days you put $10 and other days you put 10 cents, but the piggy bank gets full. And same with the meditation and yourself.
So say it again. There's no such thing as bad meditation.
Yes.
And every meditation you do is like you put a little
coin
into your savings account, the piggy
yeah,
bank.
in a piggy bank.
Okay,
Yeah, like
okay.
each meditation, good or bad, whatever I feel, enriches me with the feelings, good feelings. But at the same time, I'm also human and I need to experience the whole variations of emotions, good or bad. Yeah. The question is how long you stay in those lower frequency emotions like anxiety or frustration. But we are here. We are spiritual beings in the human bodies, and we are experiencing this 3D reality. So we will experience the whole spectrum of emotions. The meditation, if the day goes sideways and you get anxiety or frustration or something like that, this is when you are like, okay, I see you. I'm getting frustrated. What are my tools? And you get the pocket of your tools out with all the blowing the fist, bubbles, or meditating for 1 hour, and you get back to the better version of you.
What kind of advice would you give families who are just starting this journey, who are just learning about it and curious how do they get started?
Like a starter kit?
Yeah.
for families who would like to start meditation or practices?
Yeah, somebody who just looking to be more abundant and have just more harmony in their lives. And
Well, first of all, I would say at the beginning, focus on consistency and not the quality. Don't expect to sit down and spend 4 hours in meditation at day one. You will not do that. So make it rather
so
10 seconds every day.
what's more important, consistency or quality?
At the beginning, consistency, and then you move towards quality. The second advice would be put it in your calendar, the same as you put your gym, your play dates, your nail care sessions. Put the meditation in your calendar. Create an environment that you will feel good about, that you will feel excited to come and sit down and do your practice. For me, it is a yoga mat. It's always the same yoga mat that I use. I have around 10 yoga mats in our house, but there is one exact that I use for my meditations.
So you have your special
Yes.
favorite. You're lucky. Yoga mat.
Yes, my charged yoga
Yeah.
mat. Then I have my outfit that I always take on because I take on the hoodie, I feel comfort right away, and I'm ready to go.
So is it like superstition?
No, I can meditate without that. But we are talking about the starter kit for people who just start.
Okay.
What helps you?
Okay, what helps you? Okay.
What
Yes,
helps
yes.
you to start your way?
Got it.
Some people do lighten up the candle every time they meditate. At the beginning, it helps you. Later on, you get rid of it. You don't need it later on. But at the beginning, it helps you to start. Yeah, and the third one is more practical, is the silence gesture or silence word, which is when you are in family with kids or with your partner and you feel something is going out on, like something is going off track. You use the gesture or the word that you say. Everyone quiets down at the moment, and you know it's the moment to inhale, exhale, and then the flow of the situation changes dramatically.
Does anything annoys you about meditation, about your partner meditating?
About you meditating is if
Yeah,
everything
there's
annoys
anything,
me.
yeah, annoying about it?
Sometimes I get really jealous that you can do it and I cannot do it, but it's the reality is not like that. You always can do it. Make it a priority. So it just signals me that, okay, it's time to make it a priority and do it. Nothing stops you. Yeah, there is actually one thing. So we do this breath, pulling the energy up. And when we travel
Kundalini breath.
Let's call it this way. When we travel on the flight, you always meditate. I'm always the one with the kids and you're always the one in the meditation. So what happens is that sometimes you turn on the meditation with the breath and that feels really weird. I'm like, okay, I really hope he turned on the 6-minute one and not the 1 hour.
Yeah.
Because I cannot sit in the plane with you doing it like,
started shaking in the middle of a plane.
Yes.
It happened to me a couple of times. I remember I started like
Yes,
like this,
exactly.
in the plane. The lady next to me is thinking I'm having cardiac arrest. No, I'm good.
This
I'm just
this
doing my
annoys
breath.
me. Most of the times, breathing in the airplane is what annoys me.
Yeah. Well, I think that was the last question that I had for you. And any final thoughts you would like to?
Anything that annoys you in my meditation?
No, other than I don't think you do it enough. Yeah.
Exactly. Other
Yeah.
than when I don't do it right.
No, you've been very good about it. So I'm just kidding. Any final thoughts you would like to leave for the audience?
I would highly recommend every family to start doing any kind of practices. You may choose your own language of how you learn and what you do, but when your intention is to have the frequency in the family aligned and the intention is love, that works.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If this episode have resonated with you, please share it with somebody who you think might benefit from it. Otherwise, again, you've been watching the Frequency of Wealth podcast. And in the future episode, we're going to keep uncovering different layers of this onion and try to get to the bottom, to the heart of what is exactly the frequency that creates harmony, love, and abundance in your life. We'll see you guys next time.
And get the hoodie.
That was the Frequency of Wealth podcast, because your biggest breakthrough might be just one meditation away. Keep raising your frequency